A few years ago, I installed a carbon fiber spoiler on my Tesla Model 3 from EVbase, and I really liked the results. So why not do the same for my Tesla Model Y? I'm Frugal Tesla Guy, and we're going to take a look at just how easy it is to install a carbon fiber spoiler for the Tesla Model Y from EVbase. So you pull it out of the box and it looks just like this. You of course have the carbon fiber, and this is real carbon fiber that goes on the back of the Tesla Model Y. This is what it's designed for, and it was cut for the Model Y. You have some instructions on here. You can do an installation video and a few instructions here. You've also got more two-sided tape in case you need it here. This is blue, not only marking tape, but it also helps to kind of tape it down so it will settle on and set in. And then these are also some markers as well. And that's pretty much it. So they give you everything you need right here in the kit. So let's get started. So they give you everything you need in the kit, but really what I'm going to use from the kit alone is going to be the carbon fiber spoiler, obviously, and this blue tape. This is going to be used as a marker and also tape it on. You want it to have pressure on here while it's the glue, I guess, from the adhesive sticks on. So, give it at least a couple of hours. This really does fit like a glove, but if you want to play it safe, you can measure on each corner to make sure it's there perfectly on center. And one other thing, this is actually left over from my PPF kit when I put the front paint protection film. They did a different video on that from Test Bros, but this is some leftover solution. It's basically alcohol and water solution. So you just spray that on there and clean it off. It got a little dirty from my weekend trip, so I'll go ahead and clean this up beautifully, not only on the area that's going to stick on, but the areas around it to make sure no dust gets on that area. So let's get right to it. Look at that, all that dirt. And just for safe measure, I'm going to do it again. All right, so we got that clean. Now the next step is to get this on here, get the measurement that we need here. And like I say, it fits like a glove. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna really just kind of get a feel for it. You kind of just put it back and forth and you get a sense of where that center is. And that to me looks like that's it. So it's gonna stay in place. It's not gonna fall off, but if we measure it, that's exactly 5 inches on that side. Let's see if my feel for it is where it needs to be. Look at that, right at about 5 inches. I may want to move it over a little bit this way. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. So that is exactly where I want it. Double check just to make sure. It's about 4 3/4 over here. Just kind of give you an idea. Let's see if it's 4 3/4 here. 4 3/4 exactly on the money. So 4 3/4 is what I'm noticing, at least on mine, is that perfect measurement on either side. And what I'm using is that you'll know that body line right there. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and use it as marking tape. Okay, so now I've got the marking right there. So that is how that works. So take this off, and now it's as simple as just peeling this off here. Now I've seen some videos and people do it to where they peel off just a part here, and then once they stick it on, then they start peeling it off. But I prefer to take it all off at once. To each their own. That's the beauty of all these different videos out there. So you have that mark. So I know that once I get it right here, that's perfect, right? And then I can do it right there. Now, what I'm gonna do is push down nice and hard on that. Same thing over here. Push down on that. Well, it almost feels like there's no adhesive there. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The adhesive is nice and tight there, but not so much there. It doesn't want to stick. All right, so I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but I had to put some tape on here to add a little bit more, I guess, thickness to it, because again, it wasn't sticking down onto it. So hopefully that helps. You know, one lesson learned, don't take the tape off, the marking tape off, until you're done with the job. Simply because I took it off and then I had to re-measure everything. So let's hope for the best. I'm gonna start on this side, because this is the side that stuck the best. All right. They're much better. Now we don't have any play in there. There we go. Let's go ahead and just stick this on. And just for good measure, to make sure it is measured out. 4 3/4. 4 3/4, right on par. Now I'm taking the tape off because I am confident that I don't have to put this back on, because everything is sticking as it should. That is nice and snug. That is nice and snug, nice and snug. Yep, nice and snug. That's exactly what we wanted. So there you go. So the next thing that I'm going to do, just kind of get this up on here. So I'm going to take this blue tape, and I'm just going to, oops, got to be careful not to rip it. But I'm just going to go around here, get this on. All right, so I'm just gonna let this sit for several hours. I'm not planning on going anywhere today, so I think I'm just gonna let it sit on the car like this for the rest of the day, and then we'll come back. But I can already tell, just by looking at this, I'm gonna love it. It's a great look. I just think it really adds a nice little extra touch, if you will, and I really like it. So it'll be interesting once the performance version does come out, what the spoiler ends up looking like. So I'm very happy with it so far, but once we get the tape off, I'll probably be even more satisfied. Overall, I'm really happy with how it turned out. There was that one little issue I had in the installation where it wasn't sticking on this side, but the simple solution was taking the two-sided tape that they provided and putting some there, and that seemed to really do the trick. Now, there are some people who might criticize the fact that I took the backing off all at once and then put it on, but of course, my argument to that is I put it, as long as you mark it properly on both sides and you have that equal distance to that body line, you're not gonna have a problem. So I was able to stick this side on, and once I put it on the rest, it will line up there just perfectly. Now, one of the reasons why I don't like to peel a little bit off here and then peel off a little bit here and then kind of make those adjustments is that once you start peeling this backing off, eventually you run the risk of the part that you peel off on braking. Once that happens, you've got to take it all off, and it can become a bit of a mess. So that's why I like to take the backing off 100% my way. Like I said, it's all about marking it properly in the beginning, and once you do that, it's a pretty basic process. If there was one criticism I had to make about this, is the fact that there's a bit more of a lip on the top edge of this than that on my Model 3. It's a little bit more flush on the Model 3 than the Model Y here. Now it's very flush here at the bottom, so it's a perfect fit there. But like I said, there's a bigger lip than I'd like to see, but overall, I still think it looks amazing. So outside of that, it's a perfect fit. And I do think it just looks phenomenal. Now, if you are interested in getting a 20% discount through my code, this Frugal, right? Just go to the link that I have in the description below, use the code Frugal, and you'll get 20% off of any of their spoilers, whether it's the carbon fiber. I've got the glossy. You can also get the matte. They've also got just pure black glossy, pure black matte as well, and all kinds of different styles here. So be sure to check that out, get that 20% discount, and you will be good to go. So tell me what you think. Is this something you'd consider putting on your Tesla Model Y Juniper? You know, when I bought this, I felt like there was something missing, especially after having it on my Tesla Model 3, and that's exactly what it is. It was this, and I just think it adds that little bit of extra touch to it that makes it look amazing. So again, tell me what you think in the comment section below, and you know the drill. Like, subscribe, and stay positively charged.